各位亲友朋友，大家下午好。
Good afternoon. Today, I would like to begin with two announcements. At the invitation of the Foreign Minister of Bangladesh and the Foreign Minister of Mongolia, State Councillor and Foreign Minister Wang Yi will be visiting those countries from the 6th to the 8th of August. And at the invitation of State Councillor and Foreign Minister Wang Yi, the Foreign Ministers of the ROK and Nepal will be visiting China between the 8th and 10th of August. During his visit to Bangladesh, State Councillor Wang Yi will be meeting with the leaders of Bangladesh and hold talks with Foreign Minister Momen, and they will have an in-depth exchange of views on bilateral relations and international and regional issues of shared interest. We look forward to further implementing the common understandings between the leaders of the two countries and renewing our traditional friendship, deepening mutually beneficial cooperation, and elevating the relationship to a new level. We highly value our relationship with Bangladesh. And during his visit to Mongolia, Mr. Wang Yi will meet with the leaders of Mongolia and hold talks with the foreign minister. The two sides will have strategic communication on bilateral relations, practical cooperation, and international and regional issues of shared interest. The two countries have been good neighbors, friends, and partners, and we have enjoyed excellent growth in bilateral ties. We hope the visit will further enhance communication and coordination, political trust, and practical cooperation in various areas, and the two sides will also exchange views on international and regional issues of shared interest to promote the comprehensive strategic partnership. Also, Mr. Wang Yi will be exchanging views with the foreign ministers of the ROK and Nepal in Qingdao. And China and ROK are permanent close neighbors and cooperation partners. This year marks the 30th anniversary of establishment of diplomatic ties between China and the ROK, and bilateral relations face important opportunities. So this will be the first visit of Foreign Minister Park Jin, and also the first high-level visit to China since the new government of the ROK took office. So this will be a good opportunity to enhance communication and cooperation for excellent growth in bilateral ties to the benefit of two countries and the two peoples. China and Nepal are good neighbors, friends, and partners, and over the past 67 years, the two countries, despite their different size, have been treating each other as equals and established an example of good cooperation for winning results. The visit of the Nepalese foreign minister will be a reciprocal visit to Mr. Wang Yi's visit to Nepal in March. So that shows a lot about the political trust and friendship between our two countries, and we are committed to further promoting this strategic and cooperation partnership.
USNSC coordinator John Kirby said that China has chosen to overreact and use Pelosi's visit as a pretext to increase provocative military activity in Taiwan Strait. And NATO Secretary General also shared his view. What's your comment?
大家都知道，目前的局面呢
I think it's quite clear to all that the current situation is entirely caused by Speaker Pelosi and U.S. politicians. Hearing this type of rhetorics from the U.S. officials reminds us of the story of Emperor's new clothes. The United States' arrogance, selfishness, and hypocrisy and arbitrariness should be changed. Now, the context and the events that led to the tensions in the Taiwan Strait are very clear. The United States is an unprovoked provocateur and the creator of the crisis. The Taiwan question is not about democracy, but about an issue of major principle involving China's sovereignty and territorial integrity. The United States should try to put itself in others' shoes, and if an American state seeks to split itself from the United States and establish another independent state, and if another country, in this case, provides weapons and political support to this state, will the government and people of the United States allow that to happen? The visit of Pelosi to Taiwan upgraded the substantive exchanges between the United States and Taiwan. It is a serious violation of the One China principle. It seriously tramples on basic norms in governing international relations, and also it seriously undermines China's sovereignty and territorial integrity. We have, through various channels, repeatedly warned the United States of the severity and the harm of this incident. We made it clear that China will not sit by and watch, and we will not give Taiwan independent separatist forces any room, and all consequences arising therefrom will be borne by the United States. And the international community has been warning the United States of the consequences as well. They have pointed out that the visit was a completely unnecessary, egregious provocation and could trigger a serious crisis. However, the United States turned a blind eye to this and let the visit happen. The United States' egregious provocation precedes China's legitimate self-defense, and our countermeasures are a necessary warning to the provocateurs and also a step to uphold our sovereignty and security as necessary. If the United States and its sidekicks truly care about regional peace and stability, why did they not warn and persuade the United States not to carry out the visit beforehand? If they truly care about that, they wouldn't be making those vocal accusations against China for overreaction now. And China's countermeasures have been justified and necessary because this is an issue about our sovereignty and territorial integrity, and our measures are a staunch commitment to the regional peace and stability and international law and basic norms in international relations. As we have seen over the past decades, the United States and the US-led NATO countries have selectively applied international law. They use WMD and other pretexts such as threats to launch military strikes on other sovereign countries without any good reason. In Yugoslavia, Iraq, Libya, Syria, and Afghanistan, etc., they have created so many tragedies, and so many innocent civilians have died, and so many families have been broken. Have the countries involved in those military strikes had any soul-searching or reflection on their behavior? Have they even felt guilty for the serious consequences they caused? And have they ever made an apology to the and have they ever compensated them? In the 21st century, we should not allow the United States to claim itself to be a world police or international judge and treat other George Floyd, whom they can just suffocate to death at will. So China does nothing to the United States' action to push the envelope and to interfere in our domestic affairs and undermine our sovereignty. And if we do not resist the United States' reckless and irresponsible behavior, then principles and the purposes of the UN Charter, such as respect for sovereignty and territorial integrity, would become empty words, and the developing countries, who account for over 80% of the world's population, could become the next target any time. That is why over 140 countries in the past 2 days spoken up for justice and reaffirmed their commitment to the One China policy and support for China's sovereignty and territorial integrity. This is a fight against interference and against secession. China had a history of being the victim of foreign aggression, and today, still the United States and several of its sidekicks still grossly interfere in our internal affairs and undermine our sovereignty and security from time to time. But China is not the China 120 years ago, and we're not Iraq, Syria, or Afghanistan. We will not allow any foreign force to bully and enslave us. Whoever wants to do so will be on a collision course with the Great Wall of Steel forged by the 1.4 billion Chinese people. The position of us on the Taiwan question is consistent, and to uphold the sovereignty and territorial integrity of China is the firm will of the 1.4 billion Chinese people. So we hope that the United States and those so-called democracies will be very clear about that, and they need to place high importance on and respect the core interests and the firm will of the Chinese people, who account for 1/5 of the world's population.
下一个问题。
Next question.
总台央视记者提问。
CCTV, U.S. Senate approves a resolution to designate Russia as state sponsor of terrorism. In response, Russian Foreign Ministry spokeswoman Maria Zakharova warned that Russia could sever diplomatic relations with the U.S. What's your comment?
都知道美国呢
We know that the United States is quite obsessed with pinning labels on other countries. and they are also used to claiming itself to be a moral judge, and they have also been pointing fingers at other countries and using unsubstantiated crimes to suppress and contain other countries. It says a lot about the bully the United States is. Russia is an important force for counterterrorism and has played an active and constructive role in addressing the threat of terrorism. This will not change just because certain countries have made egregious false accusations.
下一个问题。
谢谢发言人，深圳卫视执行人提问。那据了解，在5号的东亚峰会上，中方同美日外长就台湾问题进行了激烈的交锋，请问发言人对此有何评论？
在5日举行的东亚峰会上，有个别国家呢对中方正当的维权的举措进行无理指责，但是大多数国家并不认同，都理解中方的立场。那么，王毅国务委员在现场对个别国家散布的虚假信息和不实之词，逐一的进行了全面有力的批驳，澄清了事实，捍卫了主权。
谢谢发言人。凤凰卫视记者提问：美国决定押后试射民兵3型洲际弹道导弹，美方称这是为了避免进一步的激化同中方的关系。美方是要展现负责任的态度，减低误判的风险。请问中方对此有何回应？谢谢。
美方说这是展现他负责任的作用，是吗？负责任的态度，听的负责任打个问号，这个话从美国嘴里说出来真的是非常的别扭。如果美国真的是负责任的话呢，他当初早就应该制止佩洛西串台这样严重的挑衅行为，他就应该撤掉在亚太地区部署的，在中国家门口部署的这么多军机军舰。美方如果真的负责任的话，就必须立即停止以切香肠的方式蚕食掏空一个中国政策，必须立即停止升级美台实质关系，必须立即停止对台军售。下一个问题。
Thank you. A question from Reuters. Chinese Foreign Minister Wang Yi walked out moments before the start of a gala dinner at the foreign ministers' meeting in Cambodia on Thursday. Why did he do that? And what's China's comment on this? Thank you.
这是新闻吗？尽管王毅国务委员昨天日程非常的繁忙，但是呢，他仍然在符合中国国内防疫规定的前提下，专门去东亚合作系列外长会东道主柬埔寨举行的晚宴的现场，向柬埔寨副首相兼外交大臣布拉索坤致意，并且呢，同其他的外长进行了交流。
Thank you. Yes, just a follow-up. So did Foreign Minister Wang Yi never intend to take part in the dinner? So, and does that mean there was no sort of last-minute change of plan? He sort of just popped in to say hello, as it were. Thank you.
我觉得刚才我说的已经很清楚了。那么你知道，我们中国有非常严格、科学、合理的防疫规定。我们在符合防疫规定的前提下呢，去参加对外交往活动。那么昨天王毅国务委员日程是非常繁忙，大家也都看到了。但尽管如此，他在符合中国国内防疫条件的前提下，专门去了东道主柬埔寨外长举行晚宴的现场，跟主人以及其他的一些外长进行了交流。你也可以仔细 回想一下中国的防疫政策是不是这样？我们是非常注意大规模的聚集性的这样的一些活动。
Thank you. Japan said yesterday 5 ballistic missiles were fired by China and landed in Japan's EEZ. What's China's comment? Is this true? And yes, does the foreign ministry have any comment on this?
这个问题其实我前2天都已经回答了。中国军队呢是在中国台湾岛附近海域开展军事演训活动，有关部门呢已经事先发布了安全的提醒和航行警告。那么中方有关的做法是符合国际法和国际惯例的。至于提到专属经济区，你应该知道，日方也应该知道，中日两国在有关海域尚没有划界，所以不存在所谓日方专属经济区的说法。下一个问题。
Question from Associated Press of Pakistan. Today is the 3rd anniversary of India's unilateral actions in occupied Kashmir, violating United Nations resolution on the disputed territory. Would you like to comment on this?
双方呢在克什米尔问题上的立场是一贯的。这个问题呢是印巴之间的历史遗留问题，也是国际社会的一个共识的问题。我们当时就曾表示，你说3年前，我们当时就曾表示，有关方面呢应该保持克制、慎重的行事，尤其是避免采取单方面改变现状、加剧局势紧张的行动。我们呼吁呢，印巴双方继续通过对话和协商来和平解决有关的争议。
湖北广电记者提问：据报道，美国常驻联合国代表格林菲尔德3日开始对非访问，并称自己启程的重点是关注美国如何帮助乌干达、加纳和佛得角应对非洲大陆遭受的粮食危机，而不是与中国和俄罗斯竞争。但非洲国家因为与中国的关系而面临债务问题，请中方对此有何评论？谢谢。
坦白讲我看到一些报道以后，对美方官员能够满世界的去造谣、污蔑、抹黑、攻击中国，这种执着，真是感到佩服。他们似乎把对外政策的重点都放在怎么去跟中